Hey everybody, so it is the Friday before the tournament. I am currently sitting outside of an Ethiopian restaurant with my wife, who is going to pick up food to bring back to our hotel room, and we are in Anchorage. Tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow is the tournament. I go to a rules meeting here in about 3 hours to kind of learn what I'm allowed to do and what I can't do, and then tomorrow's a big day, man. Thoughts. So been real with everybody this whole time with everything that I've gone through, and I'm going to admit I'm really nervous, and it's that pre-competition jitters. There's a lot of anxiety that I'm kind of building up, and it's the stress and oh man, this is something different. I don't want to embarrass myself in front of my friends and in front of my wife, and all those things and insecurities that come with doing something hard like jiu-jitsu. And it is hard, and these insecurities are things that I have to deal with, and it's natural. Pre-fight, pre-match, pre-tournament anxiety is a thing. It's everyone gets it. There's no way to get rid of it. I've had the feeling about these things every time I've done anything hard. When I joined the Navy and I went to boot camp, I was so scared and I was so nervous. And every time I've had to do something, when I went to tech school for the first time, or when I went to tech school, I was scared and nervous, and especially before big tests. And every time I had one of those physical fitness tests, I was scared and nervous. And I would, feel that anxiety build up, that stress, that normal response of fight or flight, and I would always fight. Just how you end up going. It all kind of, it's the waiting around that's the crappy part. But when it actually starts, it's going to be all right. I know the moment that someone puts grips on me, or I put grips on somebody, all this feeling is going to go away, and you're kind of just, it's what the beauty of jiu-jitsu is. You're just kind of tunneled in on the person you're with, and that's just what happens. I kind of felt the same way as I was getting ready to go off to Afghanistan. It was, every time it's a big moment of danger, there's going to be some stress, and there's going to be some anxiety, and you just kind of have to repackage how that feels and use it as fuel, use it as your friend to know you're still alive, and throw it in there. So thoughts and expectations. I'm proud of myself. I'm here. I'm going to be on the mats tomorrow. I'm dealing with a little bit of a thumb injury, but even that aside, nothing's really going to be an excuse. I'm going to be on the mats. I want to win. I want to win my division, and that's the thing I'm focused the most on. If I get to the Open, the Open's the Open, and the Open's a chance for redemption if I mess up on the first round. Single elimination, but I want to win my division. I've been training. I've been putting in so much work. I've been sore. I've been exhausted. I've put in effort, I put in time, and it's all culminating to tomorrow afternoon. And that's kind of where a lot of the big moments of hold it in, a little bit of stress, is the fact that it's been such a long journey to get to tomorrow. And after tomorrow, then it's I can close that chapter and move on to the next chapter, the next tournament, the next phase. And whether I win my division and I walk out of there with the gold after fighting and going against people ages, I think the youngest guy in my bracket's 23 and the oldest one's 44, I believe. There's a lot of young guys. I'm one of the older ones, and there's a lot of weight disparity. I haven't weighed in yet. I weigh in tomorrow, and you have to weigh in just your gi, no undershirts, nothing. I'm probably going to be sitting around 250 with the gi on. I've been kind of stuck between 245 and 250 for the past month. But after I kind of rambling, trying to get a lot of the thoughts down. But regardless what happens tomorrow, regardless as if I go in there and And if I get worst case happens and I walk onto the mats and I just get steamrolled and tapped in 30 seconds. I got to experience this whole journey of getting ready and the motions and just getting out there and doing something that's outside of the norm and outside of my comfort zone and giving it the best I have. I'm still proud of myself for this. We want to win. We've worked hard. I'm a competitor. I hate to lose. I hate to be not the best at what I try to, not the best version of myself. Let me rephrase this a little bit. I want to be the best version of me. I hate to lose, but at the same time, it doesn't define who I am, winning or losing. As long as I can put out the best effort that I can put forth, then let the chips fall where they may, and we'll see what happens. But outside of that, just pray to God that I get out of here injury-free. No, I don't want to break anything. I don't want to break anybody else, any bones. I want everybody to walk out of here injury-free tomorrow with just a good time, some good camaraderie with my team, and hopefully my whole team at Tribe put on some good performances and we get some winners. So with that, I'm done my rambling for this pre-day. I'll see if I can take some footage of the rules thing and put it in. But outside of that, tomorrow's the big day. I'll see you guys then. I've been here for going on 5 hours now. Still haven't gotten a chance to compete yet. Pretty tired. It's just tired from the adrenaline and then the dumps and the adrenaline and the dumps, and to think you're going to go into dumps and watching everybody else compete in the dumps. And I'm just, I'm fucking ready to be done, man. I just want to get on the mat. So hopefully soon.
In the men's light belt, 127 to 141 pound division. Men's light belt, 127 to 141 pound division. Come to the podium and get your medal. Here we go, bitch. Here we go. Stand back, stand back. Ross Gustafson from Frostbite Valley Judo, please report to mat 2. Ross Gustafson from Frostbite Valley Judo, please report to mat 2. Attack the X. Carter McDonald, Jiu-Jitsu, report to mat 2. Randy Devin Pollard and Matthew McDonald, please report to the podium. Anthony Guerrero and Brandon Lamb, Brandon Flambeck, please report to the podium.
Did Chris win? Chris? He was going when I came up to record. Did you heard him?
And now, the results for the men's weight 195 pound division. In first place, the Baehr Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Scott McDowell. Get on the
And we're back. So it's the Tuesday after the tournament. It's been a couple days and I'm still kind of got some lingering issues. My thumb has gotten a little better, but it's still causing me some issues, a little bit of soreness. But yeah, that was the tournament. This whole journey has been long. It's been long. It's been a lot of work, a lot of time. My reflections on what happened and how it goes is really difficult for me to think about. I mean, I don't really know what to say much. I mean, I'm proud of myself. It took me a long time. I got the first win against my opponent. His name was Mitchell. He's a nice guy, and I felt kind of a little mean how I choked him. I did beat him by paper cutter, and it was a pretty nasty paper cutter. It was a mix between how a paper cutter is supposed to be finished and a little bit of a tracheal choke. I wasn't trying to be mean to him. I tried to go for an arm lock. I tried to go for a Kimura. I tried to move it to a straight arm lock into a Americana, and he just kind of hit his arm away. And the one thing he kept giving me was his full neck, and my crossface was pretty nasty on him. My second match, I did get bowled over pretty good. Guy shot at me so fast I didn't get a chance to even sprawl, and yeah, it was kind of hard for, once he had me down, he mounted me fast, and there was really nothing I could do about it. But yeah, the experience was pretty awesome. Got to see a lot of my friends. Shouts out to Nate and Daniel and Brandon and Muhammad and Enrique and Chris, Haven, Bella, Chandler, Eddie, everybody. The ones that I missed, I'm sorry, but everybody came out in force. We did get some gold medals from our girls. Our girls kicked butt. Bella and Haven, so impressed and so happy with how their performance came out, especially spending so much time training with these wonderful people and seeing them put in the work and try to get, as good as they did. Yeah, it was pretty awesome to see. So, quick recap of the day. My wife and I were told to be there about 2 hours early. Schedule was supposed to show up about 1:30, 2 o'clock, or 2:30 was supposed to be when the match was to start. We got there at 12, and I'm, wanting to be early. And I didn't get on the mat until 6. That was when my first match was. The emotions I was feeling during the match were, it was a lot of it was nerves initially and some anxiety, and seeing the big crowd and seeing all the guys and everybody there, and realizing that for once in my life I was actually one of the small ones was pretty entertaining, because I'm not usually a small guy.
And like my first opponent came up to me fast. Like Mitch came up to me and he saw me. He was like, "Is your name Vince?" And I said, "Yeah." Because I'm Mitch. I was like, "Oh, you're the guy I'm going against." And I shook his hand and I dapped him up a few times as I saw him. Like, I was there just to have fun, but those guys were there for war. And caught him mean mugging me a few times from across the way, and I just tried to be as polite and respectful as I always am. And by the time I was called up, I was pretty tired. I was flat, and that was something that I'm going to have to think about going forward. Is I was real flat going into my match because I sat there for 6 hours. 6 hours. I was warmed up a few times because they skipped our bracket. They were starting them like the heaviest of each bracket and then going down. With mine, they started the bracket right under me and went down. So they started at like 4:30 and took them about an hour and a half to get to my bracket for white belts. So I was hungry, I was tired, and I started flat. The moment it was my time to get out there, all those nerves just went. I was more annoyed of how long it was taking that by the time I got my chance to get on the mat, I was pretty, I was angry. I kind of put on my angry eyes and went out there and just did my game. There's stuff that I need to work on. There's definitely stuff I need to work on. Getting out of somebody's half guard if I can't just push through in a normal knee cut to mount. It's something I need to work on, is transitioning from half guard to side control instead of half guard to mount, because that's kind of how I've been going lately. And I got stuck. I'll do a commentary on both of my matches later on, but that was kind of where I got stuck. And after I finished the first match, it was probably another 30-40 minutes between the first match and the second match. And I lost the second match pretty fast. And it was, I think it was like 45 seconds. He took me down super quick with a double leg. And he had me dumped and I couldn't get him off the side. I tried to reestablish and he was able to step over because I tried to hook his leg and missed. And what ended up being my downfall is he went to paper cut choke me and I went to grab his wrists, but I grabbed his wrists like this instead of like this with my elbow tucked, and he isolated my arm. It's my bad shoulder. And as soon as I felt it lock and him pull down to get ready to apply the submission, I tapped. There was a couple guys that got hurt at this tournament. I was not going to be one of them. He had me dead to rights and I did not catch his name. I'll see if I can put it in the link in here, but I did shake his hand afterwards. I did tell him, man, congratulations. It was like real good submission, and have to do nothing but tip your hat to the guy. He got me good. Afterwards, I went out with some friends from down in Anchorage, my wife. We had some hot pot, ate a whole bunch of food, drank a bunch of sake, and had a nice drive home with my wife. But yeah, that's essentially how this tournament went. So in the future, the next tournament that's coming up is in October. It's a no-gi state level tournament. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it, mainly because of my lack of free time to get off from work. It's unfortunate, but I'm going to train, and if I get a chance to do a quick, run down there and back, I'm going to do it. But more than likely, I'm going to miss the no-gi tournament in October, I think it is, tentatively. So I think the next tournament that I'll be at is this same tournament a year from now, and hopefully I'll be in a lower bracket. I'm trying to get myself under 222 so I can roll at the lower ends of the guys, because I felt undersized compared to my field, and which is shocking. I'm usually not the small guy. So I think 215 is going to be the weight I shoot for, because I think that's going to end up being where I get a good balance of my strength and my athleticism and my size comparable to other people. It's hard to really explain how I feel, man. It's been a couple days. I've done some reflection on it, and all the emotions that I processed as I was going through, and all of the things that I felt leading up, and how I felt once I was on the mat is kind of how I expected. I was pretty relaxed. It was my game, and I have no fear, no, oh my God, this guy's gonna mush me. None of that stuff came into my head. It was just try to establish my technique and go. And it's definitely gonna be something that I look forward to in the future to do more of. Some housekeeping notes. I did finally get my patches in. The patches that I did promise some lucky viewers who have liked and followed me. I got a good grip of them, so I'm going to be sending some of these out. If you'd like to win one of these or get one of these, I'm giving them away totally free. So just comment down below that you'd want one and give me a little like and a share, and you'll get one of these cool patches. I do plan on going through and doing a commentary on my matches and just kind of what I was thinking and what I was feeling at that time for each one of them. And there's going to be plenty more on the channel. The channel's not, by no means is over now. Just this initial journey, this chapter of the journey is over. And you'll see more of my, rolling commentary and more of my training montages and other cool stuff that I come up with. And I want to interview some of the people that I've been so fortunate enough to train with, and just some behind the scenes of what's it like to be a tribe. So with that, I've rambled on a little too much. I'm still processing a lot. I'm still pretty fatigued. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. And I hope to put out more content for you later. So until next time, see ya.